Jara, Vivek. Yes. Now, students, today we are going to see the RFID, the second chapter, what we are supposed to start. And in this particular chapter, we are going to study the RFID in detail. And the next chapter, what we are having, the third chapter, where we are going to discuss the actually RFID applications, right? And whenever we are going to study the both the things, actually these both the things are very interrelated to each other, because once we are thinking about RFID to put some of the application, then obviously first we are going to study the details of RFID, what are the types of RFID, how it is actually working, right? And how the what are the components of RFID, what are the different principles of RFID, so there are so many aspects to learn the RFID. And that is the reason that this syllabus also, it is included the RFID in detail. Okay, so let me first present the screen. Can you able to see, Vrushali? Can you able to see the screen?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Um, so I think um, you can see this, right, Vrushali?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So in this actually particular chapter, if you gone through this, then this is what is the contents in our syllabus, like introduction of RFID, then principles of RFID, components of RFID, and in the components we are having the RFID tag reader and the RFID middleware and the issues related to RFID. So these are the contents of chapter number 2. So I will not repeat this introduction again, because we have already did this in my the previous lectures, right? Just go through this particular, the notes, we can say, which are provided to you on my WordPress website. Okay, and we have also seen something called as the principles of RFID. Okay, so let me read one or two where we can recollect whatever the material we have taken in the previous lectures. So what is RFID? So RFID uses the radio frequency to communicate between the tag attached to the device and the RFID reader. Now, which identifies the unique RFID tag, right? Which can be used for identifying and tracking the implanted object. Now, this is what is the basic theory about RFID. Now, if you are remembering that we also have started with the case study of the RFID, where I have given you the a part of the assignment, that the first assignment you are going to do it, or what you can say that it's a part of practical or the experiment, where we are going to connect the RFID with Arduino, or we are going to connect RFID with the Raspberry Pi, right? So with both using both these microcontrollers, we are going to read the tag, we are going to write into the tag, then the RFID reader, how it is going to read the data of RFID tag into it, right? And after identifying it, what are the things that you will get it inside your program, that is these are in variables, and what the things that you are going to do it further. So this is how the experiments were there, and I already given you the link of this both the things, that where we are going to connect RFID with the Arduino and RFID with the Raspberry Pi, right? So these are the any one of the experiment you have to do it at the time of practical, right? So that we will do it once you will come offline. So it's a next part, but just remember that this is what is there. So while reading the theory, RFID from theory point of view, it may be, the simpler case for us, like just we have to remember, what are the things are there, like that. But once you will do it actually practically, then you will actually come to know that how it is working, how you are going to write the data, how you are going to read the data, right? And last but not the thing, how you are going to track the object. Okay, so implanted object means wherever the RFID tag is attached to that object, that thing is something called as implanted object. So generally RFIDs are attached physically to the device which needs unique identification, right? So obviously it requires a unique identification, definitely, because each RFID tag, right, must have some unique identity, right? So from that identification only you are going to track to that particular device. Okay, so device can be your car, device can be your the packet, or device can be anything, whatever the you are attached the that particular tag. Okay, so what the tags contains, the tags stores a serial number, right, that identifies the object. Now the next thing is how can you assign the serial number? Is it going to start with the 0 1 2 3 4 or 1 0 0 1 1 0 0 2 1 0 0 3? How you are going to assign the number? It depends upon you. It depends upon your program. It is not like that the random number is given by the program, or whatever the whenever you will connect it, the random number is gets assigned, right? It's not like that. It depends upon your program, right? And obviously some additional data can also be stored on the device along with the serial number according to the size limitation. This is very important. This is very important, right? For example, you go to the metro, right? You travel with the metro. So what happens? You have to first purchase a ticket, and the ticket they will get some that tag, and that tag is nothing but RFID tag. It's like a kitchen or the coin for you, right? And that coin consists of what? That coin contains the serial number and with some data. So data can be what? The source and destination. I am going from, let's say, Andheri to Vadala. So that, that station numbers or station names can be over there along with the serial number, right? That is the information which that RFID tag consists of, right? Or you have to put it like that. Okay, so whenever they are giving this particular, the ticket, metro ticket to the person, right, that tag consists of that information. Okay, and whenever you will go out of that particular station, yes, so you are out of that station, you are in that particular station. So this is how that identification or that technology will help to travel in like you in your metro. Okay, so actually this is also happening with the bus route also, but it is not there in India, it's in abroad, and where the routes are fixed, the distance are fixed, right? The number of passengers, the number of tags to you, whom you are going to give it. So there is nothing, there is no concept called as a conductor, where the conductor will take a ticket, give you a ticket to you, and you have to pay the money over there. No, not like that. You have to take a that tag previously only. So that systems were there, and whenever you are getting out of that particular vehicle, it can be bus, taxi, or like that, you have to just put that coin inside it. So it means that you are now going out, and this card is being locked now. It's like that, so that is how the RFID technology takes into the picture, right? So RF signals are used by the tag to convey the message to the reader, right? Obviously the logical load represents what? Either 1 or 0, either switching on and off are used for the purpose. And with the principle of this load modulation, the communication take place between the tag and the reader, right? So how this is going to be take place? With the help of this switching on and off. So like it's something like the load modulation, either 1 or 0, either you are in or out or whatever. It's like on off like that only. Okay, so in fact, without any transmitter, identity of the tag is transferred using the communication, right? So what we are finding out, it's like the different ways of principles of RFIDs. Okay, this is again very important. RFID provides the low cost contact, right? Uh, 1 second. Please you go through the particular slide. I will be back for 2 minutes. Okay, 1 second. You read this 1 second. तुझं नाले दुसरी म्हणून एखादं नावं मला माहित नाही ना ती आमची चिराग अदनान ती मुलं नाव एवढं चेहऱ्यानं विचारणार तुम्ही म्हणता फ्री झाले माझे फ्री झाले त्या पोराची काय बोलतो आलो आलो ओके श्वेता एम आय ऑडिबल हॅलो Saloni, am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so I am here, right? RFID provides a low cost contactless, identification of the device, right? Right. The meaning is that we are going to see the different types of RFID readers and the tags. It depends upon the frequency range, right? The range, and that's why it is written, when the device comes in the range of RFID reader equipment, the reader reads this data on the tag using the radio frequency even without actually contact. So it depends upon, after this, some of the the pages we are going to see what are the different types of the ranges, frequency ranges, where we are going to have this communication, right? So the device implanted with RFID tag, RFID reader, and the middleware, right, which can be used to specify business logic, if any, to process the data, right? Those, for example, what the payment of vehicle on toll plaza, right? And the device that displays the processed RFID information, which can be desktop, laptops, or an individual system. It may not be, it may be on your mobile where you are going to have show the information, right? Let's say for the police will see the list of the vehicles who crossed without without that particular green signal, even if there is a red, still the vehicle is moving out. So it is going to track by the reader, RFID reader, and that signal goes to the police station, right? So like that, you have to provide like these systems. So there is something called as RFID middleware as well, so if you consider, if you are going to map this RFID middleware, so let us look at the Tomcat middleware server, where you might have worked in, for your JSP servlets, Java technology. The middlewares are there, the middlewares are can be the the you can say the box, the black box, where we can have the security of the information, right? So there is a, nobody can able to hack the data, right? So you require something like middleware, right? It gives you the security, it provides you the information hiding part from the other clients, right? So there will not be any, the there will not be any traffic, right, or a traffic jam like situation where all the readers are coming inside the, all the tags, they are going to the RFID reader, and there is a mismatch of the information at the back end side, it should not get happen. So you require something like middleware. So RFID tags are of three types, right? You have to put it very important. There can be active, passive, and semi-passive, right? And please listen that they are being categorized based on their battery support. That is very important, right? So it depends upon the capacity of the RFID tag. So an active RFID tag has an onboard battery installed which broadcasts the signal all the time, and while passive tag doesn't have the battery support, right? You make it very or whatever sentences I have written, these sentences are going to give a very good important things, that which you are going to write in your exam, or it may happen that the some MCQ type questions will be there, you can able to answer it very nicely, okay? So if let's say कि passive RFID tags, right, have the battery support, true or false, like that, anything like that, then you have to say that it's false. It doesn't provide any battery support. Active RFID, yes, it is having its own onboard battery, right, which is installed already. It is installed, right, and which broadcasts the signal it's all the time, right. Semi passive is what? A small part of small battery installed, which is active, and only when the tag is in the presence of RFID reader, right. So it's not like active means it always at its respect to, even though it's not respect to time, but it all the times it goes on broadcasting the signals, right. But what about in semi passive? Semi passive is also having a small battery, but how it is going to be active, or when it is going to be active? When that tag is in the presence of RFID reader, right. If it stick that in the RFID reader, right, and then it goes on sending the signals, so then only it becomes an active. So that is very important: active, passive, and semi passive, right. RFID is different than three other pillars of IoT, right, in the sense that RFID generally used with the unintelligent objects like M2M, WSN, SCADA, that are used for communication between the intelligent objects. Generally, my dear friends, for to create a smart city, SCADA systems are used. Right? Even L&T company, they are also training the students based on their SCADA systems. Right? So I think the few of the students, they are already undergone that the training, corporate training, embedded system training. In the last year, I think 2019 December. So we have also undergone the training of the IoT and embedded devices, and the people in L&T, they are also telling because they are a part of that smart city projects. So they are only saying if you want to go for it, so SCADA systems are there, right? But even though SCADA systems are there, right, but still the people are going to talk about RFID. Okay. RFID technology is frequently used with RFID tags implanted on so and so forth, right? So the same thing, but it talks about the different kinds of other things, right? So what happens, there is one code called as Universal Product Code. It was used in USA and Canada for object identification and tracking, right. So there are some few previous readers, you can say, which are used in like different types of continent or different types of countries also, you can say. So European article number EAN, it was developed by the UPC, right, and it was used in Europe. And you can say the ubiquitous ID, it was used in Japan for the same. What is ubiquitous? Ubiquitous is generally what? The different kinds of things is called as ubiquitous, right. So there are two something like mechanisms where RFID concept is used to develop the two techniques. Let's see the two techniques. First is something called as auto ID. So auto ID is the mechanism which uses the identified technology, application technology like RFID, and it manages the automatic data capturing and storage over the internet. That is very important. The second one is the EPC, electronic product code. It is used to design to store an RFID tag to provide the unique identification of the product, right. So two techniques are there. First one is called as auto ID, auto ID, and the second one is called as the EPC, electronic product code, right. And now if you consider that to put RFID, so these are something like the question, if it's asked to you, or no, what are the principles of RFID, so you are going to make all these points, right. And then you talk about what the examples of RFID applications with some standardizations. So what are the standardization? As we know, okay, standardizations are like ISO something something, right? So like that. So let's consider if you're talking about a low frequency passive RFID, right? You know it. What is passive RFID? Passive RFID means there is no battery support, right? So low frequency passive RFID is used for animal identification and tracking. And just see the working frequency is 125 kilohertz and standardization is 18,002. It's very very important. Please remember all these numbers, right? It is going to take a very good points in your exam point of view. Not only exam point of view, if even if you go for any kind of some of the interviews where the RFIDs or IoT like stuff is, they are going to ask to you, these kinds of things are very important, right? The high frequency passive RFID, just see, the high frequency passive RFID is used for identification of books in the library, clothes at shopping mall, and other objects. See the working frequency, it's in megahertz, right? Low frequency passive RFID, high frequency passive RFID, right? And look at the, the applications as well. So if you are talking about to connect the RFIDs and so on and so forth for tracking the systems or animal identification like that, then you have to talk about the RF low frequency RFID, passive RFID. If you want to talk about like identification of books, library or like that, then you have to talk about the high frequency passive RFID, right? And what is the standardization? 14443 ISO, right? These things are very important. The standardization numbers are also very important, right? For low frequency it is what, for high frequency it is what, like that. Okay. Then remote controlled vehicle lock management system, right? So it generally uses what, 400 megahertz working frequency. It's more than our high frequency passive RFID, right? And standard is 18007. And then vehicle identification and toll collection systems, right? There also you can see it uses long range passive and active RFID reading with the working frequency of 5.8 gigahertz. Just see it, the range of the frequency is very large than your high frequency as well as low frequency, right? And the standardization is also ISO 18005. Remember this name, just remember the numbers and everything, right? And now you can see the actually the operating frequency bands for RFID. This is going to talk about the low frequency, high frequency, ultra high frequency, and microwave frequency, right? Because of only depend upon this type of bands, you can give the solution to the industry or the society as with respect to your RFID technology, right? So it depends upon this frequency band. You can see the low frequency band, high frequency, ultra high frequency, and microwave frequency. So where you have to apply for which type of tag, which type of RFID reader, what is the frequency range. So ये चार कैटेगरी में आपको डिस्टिंग्विश करने का है, right? Now you talk about the components of RFID system. Now if you talk about the components of RFID system, there are mostly two types of component. One is called as reader and tag, okay? And third, what we just now discussed is about the middleware. But let's talk about middleware afterwards. First we talk about the the reader and the tag. Okay, so RFID reader. So RF reader modulates the RF carrier as per the information to be transferred to the tag, right? So what is used to amplify and modulate the carrier? Antenna, obviously. So antenna is used to amplify and modulate the carrier, right? This is very very important. Okay, so RFID reader, what it does, it modulates the RF carrier signals as per the information, right, which is being transferred to the tag, right? It used to antenna is being provided to be used to amplify and modulate the carrier. It makes sense, right? Reader is also has a task of receiving the electromagnetic waves. Okay, so and these waves are backscattered by the RFID tag. Okay, so generally what is the reader that it is going to be there, and the diagram is very important diagram. Whenever it is asked to write a working of RFID reader, so it's a very correct diagram, right? You can say it's a functional block diagram of RFID reader. Okay, see the next points are like this. The antenna are externally visible part of the RFID reader system, correct? According to the order of the wavelength, the antenna is designed into its size, correct? For the purpose of proper isolation, the two antennas are kept apart from the transmitter and the receiver. right? And these are some reader, right, with the single antenna, and this single antenna, that is something called as monostatic, right, system RFID. Monostatic system RFID, where you are going to use only one antenna, right, and that antenna is with the reader. Okay, so this is very important, and how the reader is working, the diagram is shown to you. Okay, one second. Then we are having RFID tag. Okay, so let us read this RFID tag. I will be back within a moment. One second. Okay. So I think, yes, Shweta, am I audible? Hello? Okay, thank you. So I think you might have gone through this RFID tag. Okay, so I will not go inside it, but let's again just 2 3 points which are very important. It should be highlighted. That's why I'm telling you. So the RFID, basic RFID, this tag, this elementary concept or the elements which are being used, it's made up of what? Capacitor and parallel inductor, right? And these simple RFIDs, these kind are designed to operate on HF band, high frequency band. And once you are talking about high frequency, we know the range. High frequency means what? 13.56 megahertz, right? This is very important. Okay. So HF, LF, right? UHF, ultra high frequency. So whenever these terms will come, after this, you have to remember this, the frequency range. And always it has been asked, because depend upon that only the all functioning is there, Uh, so this is very, very important. Generally, I'm telling you my own application, as you also know in it, I'm working on music therapy, right? So generally to listen to the music, right, you must have that particular frequency, that is something called a resonant frequency. And the resonant frequency in human being body, right, each part is having some resonant frequency, whereas joints are there, there the resonant frequency is there. You visit any kind of website, right, where you can able to get it, the music you are listening at which band, at what is that. And that's why you are seeing the applications also, the low frequency passive RFID, it is used for animal identification and tracking. Actually this RFID low frequency passive, this tag is also used, right, for human beings also. You just take an example of babysitting, right, where all small childrens, right, they are being kept out, something like, they go out of this fancy, out of the compound, then their parents or like that people, they will should get the immediate message. And this is a very good example, where you are going to have go for the low frequency passive RFIDs, right, which are not going to give the harm to your system, human body system also, right? So here also you are going to use the RFID systems like that. Okay, this is just one of the example that I talked about. See here also it is written, but it's different kind of resonance, right? So in basic working, whenever the tag is placed closer to the antenna, reader antenna, it induces back the electromagnetic frequency, and this is sensed by the reader's antenna. This is actually the basic working of tag, right? I am reading once again. The basic working of is like this: whenever the tag is placed close to the reader antenna, it induces back the electromagnetic frequency, and this is sensed by the reader's antenna, right? This is how it works, so at many occasions the diodes inside the tag are used to reduce the false alarm rate, right? And the harmonic frequencies can be generated by a non-linear element such as diode, right? I think you might have studied all these things in your ADC, right? Analog circuits and design, where you might have seen the different components, right? So again, if you want to have the the technical specifications of it, you please go through it, right? How the diode works, how it is there, how it contains, what is the input and what is the output, right? So tag can contain integrated circuit. The circuit makes the bit smarter by storing some or more information. And these ICs can be attached to tags antenna, right? So IC also contributes at detector stage, which rectifies the RF coming from the reader. So capacitor contributes in removing the ripples from the signal. Right, this is actually the basic thing of this RFID tag. तो ये आपको भूलना नहीं चाहिए. So generally, if you look at the circuit and everything, I think you can also able to design RFID tag. आप खुद का RFID tag आप खुद डिजाइन कर सकते हैं. If you know this thing in detail, right? Otherwise, अभी डिजाइन इमेजिंग का जरूरत नहीं. You have to just remember this, okay? And then talk about the middleware. Middleware is nothing but a software subsystem that we just now talk about, right? It separates the top level application and RFID hardware, right? And this is how you are going to, it's like giving you the protection. So it's like a kernel for you, kernel, right? So in a typical IoT application, there may be several RFID tags and many readers, each contributing in the success of entire IoT application, right? And these systems needs some middle level softwares like intermediate processing of data, right? That's why I was talking about something called as security. The middleware can also have the business rule to filter the relevant data to send the level decision making systems, right? So it's part of that only, it is going to keep a hardware separate than the application level, right? It's going to filter the information, whatever parts you the application level wants to see, whatever information that hardware level wants to interpret, that only information it going to deliver from one end to another end, right? That is also very important, right? What are the things middleware consists of? The first one is device interface, obviously, right? Core processor and the application interface, right? So it's like, the back end, the front end, and the processing part. Okay, so these 3 points are important. So device interface consists of what? The drivers and the specific the specific, the software, right? So it's like you are, the interfacing with the system with the hardware. Okay, so it provides the data to the processing unit for pre-processing. Core processor, what is the function? It applies the filtering and pre-processing rules. It sends the data to the high-level application, like application interface, like that. And the application interface, what it does, it acts like a channel between the middleware and enterprise application, right? So this thing is again very important. So what is the job of RFID middleware? How the RFID tag works, and how this RFID reader works, right? So we have just now completed the components of RFID system. So this is very important. Now what remains is nothing but the RFID issues. So there are specifically three types of issues are there. First one is something called technology related problem. The second one is privacy and ethics related. And the last but not the least is the security related. So these 3 points are mentioned over here, right? It's specifically written how the points, how the issues are coming, and how to sort out these issues. Right, these two things are very important. The problems with the standard RFID. What are the problems? Technological related. Let us see. RFID built in different ways by companies, right, which have designed standard internationals, are also still under the development and interoperability, right, which is working to achieve well. And what is happening? It is pointed. It should be pointed out that some of the RFID devices do not have to leave the network, and RFID cards used, let's say, for inventory control within that company only, right? The meaning of is that there has to be some communication between the tags and the reader. It can be one of the technological related problem. There are development standards that operate in high frequency as well as low frequency. But what happened? The big companies wants to use cards that operate on high frequencies and that provide a wide range of compare to those working in the low frequencies. And in fact, these cards that operate in the high frequencies, right, the price is also high, and the large companies need to be a thousands of these readers to cover all the required area, and also the need of millions of cards that are inexpensive. So you can just see that there can be a problem between the high frequency and low frequency, right? So in case of the technological related problems, right, you may think about that the communication between the tags and the readers, one of the problem can be the communication between these two, and the second is depends upon the frequency range, right? One is having, it's like a compatibility issue, we are having the higher range of readers, but we are having the low frequency range of tags. So how can we go for it like that? So it depends upon the cost efficiency. So as I told you, you might be remember the example where I have just mentioned that I have given one of the solution to data warehouse, where all these packets are being kept like Maggie packets or like that packets is kept in one warehouse, one room, you can say a very big room, right? And if I they are the rooms are having the packets which are coming from outside and which are going out of this warehouse. So the in and out, you have to keep track of all these atoms and everything, right? So where we are going to see that which RFIDs we are going to talk about. So the tags, right? What is the cost of it, right? For example, the tag I want to attach it for the simple Maggie packet, if I go move out of the move this particular packet out of this warehouse, right? It should put an alarm, right? It should be scanned properly, and then it should go through the some route that should make happen, but without scanning or without this thing, if you are just moving out of the this packet out of this room, what is going to happen? It should make alarm, but at that time, if you are having the RFID tag, which tag you are going to put it on that particular packet? And if there are lots of packets are there, you require a high range frequency RFID reader, right? But what about the tag? That cost is also affecting, so how, let's say if you are having the RFID one tag, right? It's cost about 180 or 150 rupees, right? The packet itself costs up to 80 rupees, and the tag costs, up to 150 rupees. You can just imagine what is the use of putting this RFID tag. This can be the technological related problem, where the people also want cost effective solution, and also it should have some, the interoperability, right? The communication, the standards which we are using. And obviously what happened, the companies are now developing so many things, right? So the same RFID tag, same RFID reader, designed by and uses that same standard by the same company, that is going to be a part of that solution, right? So technological related problem is one of the problem. In that particular case, what happens? The the RFID systems can be easily disrupted, right? So it is written over here, please read it afterwards. RFID reader collision interference. So as I told you, lot of, the readers are being placed anywhere, and there are so many tags which are going to be in the range of that RFID reader. So they may have collision, right? RFID tag collision, it can be another one of the problem. Now all these problems are come under the technological problem. And then there can be a problem of security and privacy of RFID, right? So this technology, after technology, these 2 points are remain that I will cover in the next lecture, right? And obviously we are going to see the different types of questions based on this module 2, right? And then it will complete the next chapter, that is the chapter number 2 completely. So in the next lecture we are going to complete this chapter number 2, right? Anybody wants to have ask something, or is there any, is it okay for all of you? Riddhi, have you understood? Riddhi Vartak is there?
Yes, sir.
Hello. Okay, have you understood?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so please go through the notes which again it is there, right? So again I'm putting my WordPress link in the chat box, so please go through it, right? So all the chapters are there. Okay, so please go through it, right? First chapter we have totally completed along with all these question answers session also, right? We have also completed chapter number 2 now. Now we are going to complete it, right, in the next lecture. And the questions also we are going to take it in from chapter number 2. So you please be ready. So you read the notes. You read the notes so that you can able to give the answer, right? So I have put it in my in the chat box. So you can open it and you can download the PDF, share it in your the mobile, and you can start reading. Okay, so I think if you have got